Good morning. Today we are going to discuss the question and answer of Daffodils, chapter Daffodils. So, without wasting any time, let us start our question and answer. The first question of your book is: when did the poet see the daffodils? When? You'll have to understand this question. When did the poet see the daffodils? So, you'll have to mention the time of poet William Wordsworth seeing the daffodils. So, the answer is: the poet William Wordsworth saw the daffodils when he was wandering aimlessly in the outskirts of the countryside in the Lake District of England. So that you are going to write on your answer script. So the second question is where did the poet see the daffodils? Where did the poet see the daffodils? Second question is: where did the poet see the daffodils? What will be the answer? The answer is: the poet William Wordsworth saw the daffodils under the trees and beside the lake along the bay. So here I am writing poet William Wordsworth. So it is not an issue if you will write the poet, but it will be okay if you will write William Wordsworth because it makes sense. It makes the reader feel better when you write William Wordsworth. So moving swiftly to the third question. What is the third question? The third question is filling in the blanks. So it is fill in the blanks. So you'll have to fill in the blanks. So the question says fill in the blanks to describe the idea of stanza 1. The question is the poet was dash in the English countryside. He saw thousands of dash fluttering and dancing beneath dash and beside dash. So here I have to fill up the gaps, and the daffodils appeared to be dash in the strong breeze. So I think you are unable to see. So let me make it smaller a little bit. The font to be smaller a little bit so that you can see. Yeah, now you can see. Yeah. So fill in the blanks to describe the idea of stanza 1. The poet was dash in the English countryside. He saw thousands of dash fluttering and dancing beneath dash and besides dash. The daffodils appeared to be dash in the strong breeze. So what you are going to insert here? The poet was wandering. Wandering. You need to write here wandering. Wandering. Another word you can include here aimlessly. So wandering aimlessly in the English countryside. He saw thousands of dash fluttering and dancing beneath dash. So thousands of golden golden daffodils fluttering and dancing beneath the trees and beside the lake. The daffodils appear to be fluttering, fluttering and dancing in the strong breeze. So these are the first three questions in your text. So you can write it fast or you can just remember these watching this video again and again. That is the benefit of your YouTube video, and you can take full advantage of that. So next question. So let me erase this. And fourth question. The fourth question is, what does the poet compare the daffodils with? Does the poet compares the what does the poet compare the daffodils with? So what will be the answer? The poet William Wordsworth compares the daffodils with the shining and twinkling stars in the Milky Way galaxy, isn't it? So the poet William Wordsworth compares the daffodils with the shining and twinkling stars in the Milky Way galaxy. In the Milky Way galaxy. So make it small. Milky Way galaxy. Milky Way galaxy. Now, the fifth question. What is the fifth question? What resemblance does he find between the stars and the daffodils? So, there was some resemblance between the daffodils and the stars. What were the resemblance? So, the answer is the poet William Wordsworth finds that the daffodils as well as the stars in the Milky Way stretched aimlessly, stretched aimlessly, endlessly, stretched. Sorry, the poet William Wordsworth finds that the daffodils as well as the stars in the Milky Way stretched aimlessly, endlessly, and were shining and twinkling, and also are countless in number. Okay, you can keep this are as present tense because everything is in present tense. You can see the poet William Wordsworth finds that the daffodils as well as the stars in the Milky Way stretched endlessly and are shining and twinkling and also are countless in number. All these things he mentions in the poem, right? So the next question is what does the poet say about the number of flowers? What does the poet say about the number of flowers? So here the answer is the poet William Wordsworth says that he saw countless stars. Answer is the poet William Wordsworth says that he saw countless stars, and to support this, he tells that he saw 10,000 flowers at a glance. At a glance. So, this is the sixth answer of your question. Sixth question answer. Now, moving towards the seventh question. What was the seventh question? Seventh question was what? Where were the flowers? Where were the flowers? The answer to this question is the flowers were beneath the tree, beside the lake, along the margin of a bay of the lake. So the flowers, you can simply write the flowers are beneath the trees beside the lake along the margin of a bay. So you can remove this of the lake. So the flowers are beneath the trees beside the lake along the margin of a bay. Now moving towards the eighth question. Which of the two danced more sprightly? Which of the two danced more sprightly? The waves or the daffodils? So the answer to this question is, can you tell me who danced more sprightly? The daffodils, very good. The daffodils danced more sprightly or more energetically. Now, the ninth question. What is the ninth question? How does the poet feel while looking at the daffodils? How does the poet feel while looking at the daffodils? What was the feeling of the poet when he was looking at the daffodils physically? When he was near the lake and looking at the daffodils, what did he feel? So the answer is, here is the answer. The poet William Wordsworth feels boundless happiness, boundless, limitless, with no limit happiness while looking at the daffodils, and he forgets about himself as well as the wealth brought by the beautiful sight of the daffodils. So that is the ninth question answer. Now we will move towards the 10th question. So the 10th question is, what happens to the poet? What happens to the poet when he lies on his couch? The answer is when the poet William Wordsworth lies in his couch in a pensive or vacant mood, the sight of the sprightly dancing daffodils flashes upon his inward eye, and his heart is filled with boundless joy and dances with the dancing daffodils. Wow, that is the answer to the 10th question. 11th question, mention the two moods of the poet. So, the two moods of the poet William Wordsworth are vacant or empty mood, or pensive or thoughtful mood. So, the two moods of the poet William Wordsworth are vacant or empty mood and pensive or thoughtful mood. You'll have to mention. You cannot write just a vacant and pensive mood. So, when the question is asked what were the two moods of the poet, you'll have to answer in your own words. So, vacant or empty mood and pensive or thoughtful mood. Now, question number 12. What is the question number 12? What does the poet feel when he remembers the sight of the daffodils? So, what does the poet feel when he remembers the sight of the daffodils? So, the answer to this question is, here we go. So, let me delete this 10th question answer and you'll be able to see the 12th one. So, when the poet William Wordsworth remembers the sight of the golden yellow daffodils, his heart is filled with boundless joy and begins to dance with the sprightly dancing daffodils, and this joy appears to last forever. Right? That is the feeling of William Wordsworth. So moving towards the 13th question. The 13th question is, where does the poet write the poem? Beside or off the lake? So here many children commit mistake, blunders. As many times, how many times you tell them they will commit a mistake? What is that? Off the lake or beside the lake, they will go on writing beside the lake. No, it was not beside the lake. It was of the lake. So the poet William Wordsworth writes the poem of the lake. Okay, of the lake. That is the answer. You can uh, add some more point, like the poem must have been written of the lake, as the poet mentions that he was lying in a couch. Moreover, so we can write it just for our knowledge, as well as you can also mention that to make it more effective. So the poem must have been written of the lake. Let me delete this 11th question. Yes. So of the lake, as the poet mentions that he was lying in a couch. So he was lying in a couch. When he was writing, he was lying in a couch. He has mentioned about lying in a couch. Moreover, the memory of the daffodils fills his heart with happiness. Therefore, at the time of writing the poem, the poet is not with the daffodils. So he was remembering the daffodils, so he was not with the daffodils. He was away from the daffodils. That proves your point. So, question number 14, moving towards question number 14. So, what is question number 14? Yes. So, there is a rhyme scheme. It is related to the rhyme scheme of the poem. So, let me delete this 12th one so that you can see the 14th one. So 14th question is, do you find a rhyme scheme in the poem? The rhyming scheme of the first stanza is A, B, A, B, A, cloud and crown, B, hills and daffodils, ending with a rhyming scheme, rhyming couplet C, C, okay, C, C, C for trees and breeze. So the question is the rhyme scheme similar in all the three stanzas or do you find any variation? The answer is the rhyme scheme in all the three stanzas is similar and there is no variation. So you can write the answer. The rhyme scheme in all the three stanzas is similar, isn't it? Similar. There is, you can mention this one, there is no variation in the rhyming scheme, right? So you can mention that. So next question is very interesting. What is that? How many times, let me delete these two questions, this one. So how many times is the word dance repeated in this poem? Right. So the answer to this question is uh, another part of this question is, in which line does it show? In which line does it show the happiness and liveliness of the flowers? Isn't it? So the answer to this question is the word dance is repeated 4 times in the poem. The word dance is repeated 4 times. So if you will see the poem Daffodils, so you will find the word dance, dances, dancing, such type of words. And they are used 4 times in the poem. And the line tossing their heads in sprightly dance shows the happiness and liveliness of the flowers. So who are tossing their heads? Daffodils were tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So question number 16 is related to the previous question, question number 15. So what is question number 16? Here it is. Let me delete it so that you can see. So in which line does it create a sense of harmonious relationship between the daffodils and the waves? So there is a line in your poem, in the poem Daffodils, where the word, here the question has not mentioned about the word dance, but here the pronoun it refers to what? The word dance. So the word dance creates a sense of harmonious relationship between the daffodils and the waves. So what is the answer then? The line, the waves beside them dance. So answer is the line, the waves beside them danced, but they outdid, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. This sentence creates a sense of harmonious relationship between the daffodils and the waves. Now, question number 17, very fast. Let us complete it fast. In which line does this harmonious relationship include the poet himself? Very technical question. The answer to this question is uh, in the line, and then my heart with pleasure feels and dances with the daffodils. So this you will not find in other materials many guidebooks. They will give different answers. So do not follow them. That, not them, all of them are not bad. So many spelling mistakes you can find there. So in the line, and then my heart it plays at feels and dances with the daffodils. So dances with the daffodils. This word again, it is related with the daffodils. This harmonious relationship includes the poet William Wordsworth himself, because the heart of the poet starts dancing with the daffodil. So you can write like this. So let me delete this one so that you can see. So 17. In which line does this harmonious relationship include the poet himself? In the line, and then my heart it player feels and dances with the daffodils. This harmonious relationship includes the poet William Wordsworth himself. And you can remove this. No need to make the answer so long. Now, question number 18. What figure of speech do you find in the poem? What figure of speech do you find in the poem? Many figures of speech you can find. Many figures of speech. So, you can write all. But just for example, I am giving you this one. So, first, let me delete this 17 so that it is a long answer, but I will make it very short for you. Now you see, first, see, the following are the different figures of speech used in the poem Daffodils. Here, simile is used. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Continuous as the continuous, continuous. Here, continuous as the stars that shine. Metaphor is also used. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Here, host, it is metaphorical use. The waves beside them dance. So the waves are dancing. So it is also a metaphor because it is given some personal touch, as well as the touch of an animal, or the bird, that peacock was dancing. So here it is a metaphor, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. So here some animate quality has been given to the flower daffodils. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. So again, this type of metaphors are known as personification. If they are compared to a person, then that is known as personification. So a personification is a metaphor, but a metaphor is not, may not be a personification. So you need to understand that. They flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, the bliss of solitude. And then my heart it pleasure feels and dances with the daffodils. Here metaphor, my heart with pleasure fills. So pleasure is a liquid and heart is a container. Personification, well, all at once I saw a crowd. Crowd is a group of people, but the daffodils are compared to a crowd, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Again, the daffodils are compared to people. In a jocund company, again, the daffodils are compared with person, fluttering and dancing, dancers. So the daffodils are compared to dancers. Outdid the sun. So in this way, many alliteration is also used. Gazed and gazed, wealth, what wealth, okay, beside the lake, beneath the trees, beside the lake, beneath the trees. Baba sound is repeated here, so it is alliteration, beneath the trees, and dance as the daffodils. Dada sound is repeated, so here for alliteration. Hyperbole, when all at once I saw a crowd. This is not a hyperbole. You cannot say, you do not take that as a hyperbole. 10,000 saw at a glance. Yes, that is a hyperbole. They stressed in never-ending line. Yes, that is also a hyperbole. Assonance is also used. 10,000 I saw at a glance. What is assonance? The vowel sound is repeated at equal intervals. So 10,000 I saw at a glance. Thousand glance. So 10, gen, glance. So a sound is repeated. They stressed in never ending line. A sound is repeated. So that is the vowel sound. Assonance. Consonants, when the the opposite of assonance is consonance. What wealth, what was show to me had brought. So the consonant sound is repeated in vacant or in pensive moon. Metaphor, they flash upon that in water. Imagery, lonely as a cloud. Okay, crowd, never ending line, Milky Way, Jocund company. All these are figures of speech. So what answer you will write? The different figures of speech used in the poem Daffodils are simile, simile. No need to write all these and explanation. Metaphor, metaphor, metaphor. So this is just given as a support or for your understanding, to add your understanding. So metaphor, personification is also used. Personification is used here, and then alliteration is used in the poem. Daffodils, alliteration. Then which figure of speech? Hyperbole is used. Hyperbole. Then which other figure of speech? Assonance is used. Assonance is used. And then consonance is used. Consonance is used. Consonance is used. Then uh, metaphor is used. Yes, we have already mentioned metaphor. So imagery is there. Imagery is there. Okay. So and imagery. So this is all your question answer to 18th question. Now moving to question 19. So 19 is question number 19 is simile is a figure of speech that makes an explicit comparison between two unlike things by using like, as, etc. For example, in I wandered lonely as a cloud, as the loneliness of the poet resembles the loneliness of the cloud that is floating high in the sky, the figure of speech used is a simile. What other example of a simile do you find in the poem? So the poet wants us, the question wants us to find out another simile from the poem. So many two similes we have already known. So they are, the first one is given, so the second one is here in the answer. The other example of simile we find in the poem is continuous as the stars that shine. In this simile, the continuity of the daffodils is compared to the continuity of the stars in the Milky Way. Okay, so this one you need not have to write. Now we will move to the question 20th question.